The distress beacon was so weak that Captain Alex Reeves almost missed it entirely. Just a flicker on the horizon's edge's long-range sensors, easily dismissed as stellar interference. But 5 years of solo exploration had taught him to trust his instincts, and something about that faint signal felt wrong. He adjusted course, following the beacon's source for 3 days until his proximity sensors finally detected it. A life pod adrift in interstellar space, far from any known settlement or trade route. The beacon was nearly dead, the pod systems running on emergency reserves that had maybe hours left. Alex brought the pod aboard expecting to find remains. Instead, he found her barely alive, severely dehydrated, her long ears drooping with exhaustion. Tal'shira he recognized from limited xenological training, a species humanity had minimal contact with, isolated in distant star clusters. He carried her to the medical bay, initiated fluid replacement and oxygen support. She drifted in and out of consciousness for 6 hours, muttering words in her language that the translator struggled to parse. When she finally woke fully, her crystalline eyes focused on him with devastating emptiness. "My planet is gone," she said flatly, her standard accented but clear. Alex, adjusting her IV drip, assumed she meant destroyed metaphorically, conquered maybe or rendered uninhabitable. "We can contact your people. Get you home or to a colony. You don't understand." Her voice was hollow, stripped of everything except exhausted truth. "My world isn't damaged, it's gone, erased. A stellar phenomenon called spatial collapse. One moment Tal'shira existed. The next, 3 billion people ceased to be." The words hit Alex like physical impact. He knew grief intimately. His own family lost to colony transport failure 5 years ago. But the scale of what she described was incomprehensible. "I'm sorry," he managed, and hated how inadequate the words sounded. "Everyone I ever knew," she continued, staring at the medical bay ceiling. "My entire civilization just gone. And I'm alive because I was light years away on a diplomatic mission that doesn't matter anymore." Alex had no response. He simply stayed beside her as she stared at nothing, two people who'd lost everything drifting through the void together. Over the following days, as Veyra recovered physically, the full horror emerged. She'd been junior diplomatic attaché, sent to negotiate trade agreements with a neighboring system. Long-range sensors had detected the spatial collapse forming, given maybe 30 seconds of warning before Tal'shira simply stopped existing. "No explosion," she explained quietly, staring through the observation port at endless stars. "No debris field, just empty space where a planet used to be." She tried contacting other Tal'shira settlements, 7 colony worlds, 2 research stations. None responded. Either the collapse had affected more than just their homeworld, or she was truly alone. "I should take you to the nearest human station," Alex said, though the words felt wrong even as he spoke them. "Diplomatic Corps can help." "Help with what?" Veyra's laugh was sharp and bitter. "I'm not a refugee. Refugees have somewhere to eventually return to. I'm just wreckage you pulled from the void." Alex recognized that tone. He'd used it himself for years after losing his family, pushing away anyone who tried to help because accepting comfort felt like betraying the dead. He made a decision that probably violated a dozen protocols. "I'm heading to survey a potential colony world. 2 weeks from here, uninhabited Earth-like. Come with me. Take time to figure out what you want to do next." Veyra turned from the viewport, surprise flickering across her exhausted features. "Why, you don't know me." "Because I know what it's like to lose everything," Alex replied honestly. "And because nobody should face that alone. I learned that the hard way." She studied him for a long moment, those crystalline eyes seeing past his careful control to the grief he carried. Finally, she nodded. 2 weeks, she agreed. "Then we'll see." Alex hoped 2 weeks would be enough for both of them to figure out what came next. He suspected it wouldn't be, but at least it was a start. The journey to Kepler 442d, which Alex privately called New Eden, revealed depths neither of them expected. Veyra was brilliant, her diplomatic training including extensive xenobiology, geology, and ecosystem analysis. She reviewed Alex's survey data with professional interest that gradually became genuine engagement. These mineral deposits, she pointed out, highlighting scan results. And this vegetation pattern suggests complex fauna, not just microbial life. They talked carefully at first, then with increasing honesty. Veyra described Tal'shira, cities built into crystal formations, art based on harmonic resonance, a culture valuing collective memory above individual achievement. We believed identity came from connection to place, she said one evening over meal rations. That who we are is inseparable from where we're from. Now that place doesn't exist, so what am I? Alex told her about his family, about the transport that never arrived, about 5 years running from Earth and everything that reminded him of loss. I thought emptiness would make grief easier, he admitted. That distance would help. I was wrong, it just made me empty too. Then why help me? Veyra asked. Why not drop me at the nearest station and return to your emptiness? Because maybe we're both tired of being empty, Alex said simply. And maybe helping you means finally helping myself. Veyra's long ears angled toward him with something like understanding. For the first time since he'd found her, she almost smiled. New Eden appeared in their viewport 2 days later, a jewel of blue and green suspended against black velvet, more beautiful than any survey data suggested. They descended together, and when they stepped onto solid ground beneath an alien sky, Veyra's careful composure finally shattered. She didn't cry. Tal'shira processed grief differently, but her shoulders shook with silent anguish. Alex stood beside her, not touching but present, letting her experience whatever she needed. They should see this, she finally whispered. My people, we were looking for colony worlds. This would have been perfect. But you're seeing it for them, Alex said quietly, and that matters. New Eden exceeded every expectation. Vast forests, clear oceans, mountain ranges catching sunlight in spectacular displays. Over the following days, they explored together, and what began as clinical surveying became something else, imagining possibilities, discussing what kind of community could thrive here. One evening, watching sunset paint the sky in colors neither Earth nor Tal'shira ever produced, Veyra asked, what if we stayed? Built something here that honors what was lost by creating something new. Alex should have said no. He was a survey captain, not a colonist, but looking at the first genuine hope in Veyra's eyes since finding her, he couldn't. It would be hard, he warned. Just 2 of us, limited supplies. I've already lost everything once, Veyra interrupted. Hard doesn't frighten me, empty does, and this isn't empty. Alex contacted Terran Exploration Corps with his request, expecting rejection. Instead, after a week, they approved it. 2 traumatized people building something together might just work. Construction began. They built shelters, established gardens, created something neither human nor Tal'shira but a hybrid of both. Months passed. The settlement grew from survival to comfort. They built a memorial garden, Veyra's crystalline marker for Tal'shira, Alex's for his family. Standing together, they acknowledged that grief doesn't disappear, but it can be honored while still moving forward. 6 months after landing, they sat watching New Eden's twin moons rise. I never thought I'd feel at home again, Veyra said quietly. Not the place I lost, but the feeling. Alex took her hand carefully. She intertwined her fingers with his, the gesture feeling like promise. Home isn't just a place, he said. It's the people who refuse to let you face the void alone. Then I'm home, Veyra replied and kissed him, gentle and careful, 2 people learning that loss doesn't have to be the end. When colonists arrived months later, they found a thriving settlement built by 2 people who'd lost everything and chose creation over emptiness. We call it New Haven, Veyra explained to new arrivals, standing beside Alex with their shared home behind them, because it offers shelter for those still finding their way forward. That night in the home they'd built together, Veyra traced their